What is going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I appreciate the support. Now, my final announcement. This will probably be the final video I make here until I make a recap of the meet and greet, which is tomorrow. Now, the meet and greet tomorrow is held at Reservations Bistro. The address is 8106 Cordova Drive. It's in Cordova, Tennessee, and the zip code is 38016. I will be there because I'm on a time schedule with the time I paid for at this bistro for you guys to come out and check me out. And I'll be there from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., March 25th, okay? So it's going to be Reservations Bistro in Cordova. But guys, hopefully you guys will come out and get to meet me, and I'll get to meet you. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. The main reason I came down here was, for this Tyre Nichols story. I've covered it ever since, the video has come out, and, the world has been following it. Since I came down here, I had a plan that I didn't tell you guys about. And what I did today, because the weather had broke, it's been raining lately. And luckily the weather broke at the right time. What I did was I went to Tyre Nichols, the main aspects of what the trial would be about. I went to the scene of the crime, the first stop. Today I'm going to take you to the first stop. I'm going to show you where he was. I'm going to show you how far he ran. I'm going to answer a big question everybody was asking about how he got away so fast when he cut that corner and he was chased by Demetrius Haley and fat ass Preston Hempfield. I'm going to show you the exact spot where Preston Hempfield was standing when he said, "I hope they stomp his ass." I'm going to take you guys in depth, and we're going to walk the same way he walked and see the same things he saw. I'm going to show you how close he was to his house when this beating occurred to this man. I'm going to show you some other intangible things that you didn't see, and they'll answer a lot of questions that a lot of people worldwide want to know. I went into the neighborhood. I saw his house. I saw all these other things, and it'll answer a lot of questions. And like I said, I got a couple of things that nobody knew, and it was shocking to me, but we're going to get into it. Now, check it out. The first thing I'm going to do, now I took these in different order because I was shown different spots at different times. First place I'm going to take you is the first stop when he was pulled over. Remember they said Emmett Martin and, in fact, we're not even going to jump into that. Let me just play the video. Check this out. All right, guys, listen. This is the first stop where Tyre Nichols was caught. We're at Ross Road, and I think this is Ross and Rains. Oh, let me see. Yeah, Ross and Rains Road. Where this gray truck is, that's where Tyre Nichols was parked in the first stop where they was macing him. He was in that other lane though. There's a lot of traffic out here, so I can't do it. If you look close behind, you'll see the cross. That was the first traffic stop. He came this way. See how far that is? And he wasn't stopping for Emmett Martin. That's why they were saying he wouldn't stop. That's a long distance. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's something key I want you to see here. You see the memorial right here? This is where he was. This corner I'm standing on right here is the corner he ran towards his house. So when he hit this corner here, when the body cams was following him, and Hempfield said, "I hope they stomp his ass," he was standing right here. In fact, he was down a little bit because remember they chased him. So they chased him. Now remember when the camera came and you saw Tyre Nichols, he had disappeared. This is why he disappeared. Let me turn the camera. Check it out, guys. When we watched it on TV, when he escaped and it's like he disappeared in thin air, the reason why he disappeared in thin air is, if you can look up there a little further, you see that it's woods, and then you see the sidewalk, and then all the way up there you see the sidewalk. The reason why he had disappeared and we didn't see him is because of this. This is crazy, because I'm like, ain't no way he got away that fast and he took off. Look at this. That's why we didn't see him, because he cut through here and then it came back out and caught the highway right there. So that right there solves Pierce so fast when he run around the corner, and they said they hope they stomp his ass. Now, this was the first stop. Now I gave you the other stop, and I'll put them all together. They won't be in the order, but it's just in the order I was taking to them. But guys, man, it's messed up, man. This whole thing is messed up. And for me to be sitting here and just singing this for the first time and just walking in the steps of the directions he ran, God only knows the fear that man must have been going through. And it's a damn shame. We got to do better as people. There's another memorial over here on this corner. I'll show it to you in a second. I'm trying to wait for my ride to come. See it? See the other memorial? Right there? I don't know if you can see it. Where the car just turned. But there's so much traffic out here. I ain't trying to get hit, and I'm out here looking like a moron. They're like, who is this guy? But guys, I wanted to give you some footage nobody else has. People in Memphis, you know, this area and stuff. With my other subscribers, you guys haven't seen this. I just wanted to give you a little heads up because it was dark out here when the video was taken. But if you look close enough, it's light now, and you know, you can see it much clearer. But I'm Stock Market Steve. I'll see you guys in the next video. Did you guys see that? It's two things I noticed when I was out there, guys. The first thing is, besides those traffic lights right there and a couple of street lights, that neighborhood and that area, I think the person that took me there said it was called the county. I guess it's like outside of the, like on the border of the city limits. They don't have street lights and stuff out there like that. That's why it was so dark and you couldn't really see anything. When Tyre Nichols took off and ran down that street, there's no street lights up there. He was running in damn near total darkness. That's the first thing. From where he was standing, where that gray pickup truck was, where his car was, a lane over, when he left his vehicle and he left, that is a run. I think the place where he's from, the neighborhood, I think it's called Riverton. I think the neighborhood was called Riverton or Raventon. So I can't remember what it was called. I should have took a picture of it, guys, be honest with you. And when he took off and ran down the street, everybody was like, damn, he took off. We thought he ran that long distance. But like you're seeing in the video, when he was running, it's like a little crisscross off and then comes back because there's a little creek right there, a little stream, and I guess they couldn't build over it. So when he ran, he went partially in the woods and came out. He must have knew that air like the back of his hand because in pitch black darkness, there's no way you could have stayed on that small sidewalk and without falling into that water. And then when you went and looked at him, when they looked, they didn't know that little thing was there. So when he was running for his life, he gained a lot of distance between him and them when he took off. For them to lose him that fast. Because that was a bit of a stretch if you remember when I was walking at. That's why you didn't see him. So then what he did was he ran straight up the street. It's dark out there. When they were zooming down the street, they probably drove right past him. Because, I mean, it's dark. And when I say it's dark out there and wooded, it is dark and wooded, guys. I'm serious. It's dark and wooded. So they probably drove right past him when he was running on the sidewalk because he had on all black, remember? They tased his jacket. That's why he didn't get tased. He took the jacket off. He had on black. He took off. Cops probably rode right past him because, I mean, it's pitch black dark out there. That's the first scene. Now, across the street, they had a little cross set up as a memorial, I guess, like saying, hey, this is where the scene of the accident happened. But the side of the street I was standing on was exactly where Preston Hemphill said, I hope they stomp his ass. I stood in the exact same spot he did. I tried to recreate which direction he ran, and I was shocked when I seen that little dip. And I said, that right there answers a lot of people's question of how he got away. Does. Man ran for his life. And the distance he covered, guys, before he got to the part where it's called Riverton or whatever, it has to be over half a mile. He covered that distance super fast. And it's a straight run up that street. Go back and look. That street is very long and it runs for miles. But that's the street we came down because we couldn't find it. Because we were looking on the internet and trying to find this. But My driver was familiar with it, but they was like, okay, this and that. And like when it was dark out there, it's a gas station stuff. We didn't see that. I'm like, ain't no gas station out here. It's so dark and there's no lights and stuff at that intersection. The stuff is sitting right off the side. You can't see it because there's no lights on. And I thought that was crazy. I was like, man, but that's the first stop. So now you got the first stop of where it was at. Did you see how long that part was? Where coming up that street, that street runs a long way, miles. So when they said he wasn't stopping, I figured Emmett Martin, remember they was like, hey, play the thing. It's a big distance between lights, guys. So Tyre must have been scared when he said he didn't recognize what the car was behind him. He was driving for a minute. And they was just behind him like, hey, you gonna stop or what? But who would stop in that part? It's on the outskirts of nowhere and it's woods and it's no traffic lights. I wouldn't stop neither. Honestly, I wouldn't stop. It's scary out there. But that's the first stop. So now you seen where they attacked him, tried to make him, he ran off. You seen how he got away so quick. You seen where Hempfield was standing when he said, I hope they stomp his ass. You seen where Demetrius Haley and them got maced looking stupid as hell. So now y'all seen it in broad daylight. It opens a whole new perspective of how he got away. That's the first part. Now we're going to go into the neighborhood where he got caught. Guys, check this out. Hey guys, Stock Market Steve here for the channel Dynamic Reason. I'm out here in Memphis. I'm going to tell you something. I promised you I was going to give you some footage that nobody else has shown you so far. And here it is. Guys, I've been out here all morning trying to figure out where this Tyre Nichols situation happened. And I'm at the corner of Bear Creek and Castle View. Take a look at this. That is the mural or the situation that they set up for Tyre Nichols. If you sit out here and look, you'll see it says Bear Creek and Castle Gate at the top. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to flip the camera around and I want you to check this out. Look how condensed this space is. There's no way. They said they had a secret witness. It got to be a secret witness. With all that noise they were making, look how condensed this place is. It looked bigger on TV. But guys, check this out. Let me flip the camera. Check it out. This is where he was beaten. This is the corner that he was beaten on. Right? Now I'm about to get back in the car. So this is where everything happened, where he was beaten. Look how close the proximity of the houses are. Look how loud they were. Look how close these houses are, guys. Somebody had to see something. It's an unfortunate event that this happened to this man in his own neighborhood. Now, I was going to go to his where his mother's house was, but that's too much. You know, I don't want to do that. And you know, they need peace. But guys, that is it. This area is it's very close and condensed. It looked wider on TV, but for them to do all of that stuff that they did to this man, it's total BS. Total BS. That is poor policing. And I mean, just seeing here, like, I mean, my heart is beating, like, just knowing I've covered stories and I've stood where this man called for his mother and nobody came to his aid. You understand what I'm saying? And somebody had to see something. Somebody had to see something out here. Listen, guys, what I'm going to do now is shoot some other video, and I'm going to string this together in one big video. This is the first part of the footage I've taken, and I don't know if I'll make this the intro or not, but it's sad, guys. Okay, guys, that was the memorial, and that was the site of the second time they were beating on Tyre Nichols. And I'm going to be honest with you, being out there, you know, you hear people talk about how they feel like a weird feeling and stuff like that when they're in the presence of where something traumatic happened. And I used to always be like, man, that's corny. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it was, but just being there, it was just an eerie feeling. You know, though he didn't perish at that scene, just knowing that something horrific happened to somebody else that should be here right now, that didn't have to be. It's just, it doesn't feel too well inside. The memorial is out there. I think it's still growing, and I give people credit. Nobody has touched it. Rain, sleet, snow, or hail, nobody has touched that thing. And it's very nice. It's very nice. And the thing that's crazy, his house, no matter what nobody tell you, I was out there. His house is about at least at the most 100 yards away. You know, I was going to go down the street, but I don't want to put nobody's business out there like that. Them people have suffered enough. But you'll see the house in this next clip I show you. But I mean, you'll see it from a distance, and I judged the distance of how far he ran. But the time when you seen Emmett Martin, I mean not Emmett Martin, when you seen Emmett Martin macing him, Tredarius Bean, and Justin Smith catching him and running behind him and catching him, they caught him right at that corner that you seen. So I had made videos saying I think he was moved from one corner to another, like trying to get away. No, he was at that one corner. They pulled the car up. That corner you seen where all that stuff was, the actual area where I stood at was where they beat that man at. Kicked him in the face and everything. I was there, and I brought you guys along with me. So now, no matter what anybody says that didn't go, I went there. I went to the scene of both crimes. I seen everything. So, and I took you guys with me. So you guys were there. You seen it with your own eyes in broad daylight. Because I was going to go back tonight and do it, but it's so dark back there. Guys, there's one street light on that whole street coming up. That's why it was so dark. I thought it was the darkness on the body cams. It was just dark, period, back there. I'm like, man, how is this a nice area? And them homes are nice. Them nice homes, that ain't hood back there. You know, he going home to my house. They had a nice house. All them houses back there was big brick houses. And getting back to what I was saying, you know, there has to be people. I think it's more than one person that saw that, because the houses and the sidewalk from where the street, look, the street is so small back there, because the way that housing area is, when you go through there and you branch off on each street, it's a cul-de-sac. So you got to come in and come back out. You can't go to another part of the neighborhood. Each one has its own cul-de-sac. So you got to go, turn around, and come back out. So it's like each road is their own little community. The street is their own little community of houses. And man, look, it's pitch black back there. It was one street light. And I'm going to show you where it is. And I saved this video for last, because this one right here, well, all of them make them look silly. These cops look silly. When they caught him and they ran up on him, they were going to the house at that time, and he happened to be coming up that street. That's why you see them get out the car and chase him. He was yarding it. That's like more than a half a mile. I mean, he made haste, because when you're running up that street where I showed him going that little dip, guys, and run out, it's one block, which is another neighborhood, you know, of houses, right? When you go back and look and you see the sidewalk up there, if you look, there's a bunch of houses. That's one neighborhood. That's not the neighborhood he was in. Then you run to another street, right? On that same road, that long road. So the first road goes in that neighborhood you saw. You run past that, and it's another opening. You run past that one, and it's another opening. That's where he caught him, where it says Raverton or Riverton. And then he ran up in there. It was the third one on the left, coming from the first traffic stop. I said, he ran this far? And if you don't believe how far he ran, look at this. Because I went to the memorial, and then I recorded it all the way back to the first traffic stop. Guys, he was in peril, and he was in fear for his life. That's fight or flight at its best. Look how far this man ran. Look, in such a short distance. Check it out. Okay, guys, that's how far that man Tyre Nichols ran when he was in fear for his life. Did you see the 3 streets? We came out of one, heading back to stop number 1, traffic stop number 1. We came out of that first street, that was 1. Second street, where you seen the car coming out, that was 2. And then right down at the bottom, when you start to get to the bottom, you see the little neighborhood that's like a separate neighborhood from theirs. 3 streets. That man ran over a half a mile, I think, because I mean it's long. It's a long distance, you know, and just man, just the determination he had just to survive and to get caught that close to his house. And speaking of that, I saved the best video for last. Well, not the best video, but I mean the most telling. And I hope they use this in court. I hope they see this video, prosecutors see this video and get their dumb asses with what I'm about to show you. Remember, there was a big discussion about the camera. You know, the camera was right there. They just did it in front of the camera and all this other stuff. Guys, let me tell you something. They didn't know the camera was there. Remember, I said, I just showed you the video when I said the memorial, right? The memorial where he was beaten at, the camera is right across the street from that. When you looked at the Tyre Nichols video, it looked like the camera was far away because it panned out to show it. And it looked like it was real far away. Guys, that camera was about 30 feet away from them. It was on the opposite side of the street, right on the curb. I'm going to show it to you in a second. And it sat about 15 feet up in the air. It has a big blue police beacon on it, like they got on the top of their cars, and it flashes. When it fixes on you, it just stays blue. Because when I got over there and I was looking at it, it fixed on me. I seen it move and fix on me, and then it stayed blue. I didn't know that these cameras can pick up sound, so I know they heard me talking. And they can emit sound. That's kind of cool. But anyway, listen. The reason why they didn't see the sound, the light, is because it's the only light on top of it. That's on top of it. The only light, like the street light, is one of them yellow street lights. It hangs over. So that blue light, they never really looked there and seen it until the end, when they did all that dirt. How dumb are they? The video that they show where they zoom in and out, I know that thing got a very good lens on it. Remember, they was like, oh, we got to see the video cam first. We got to see all this. It ain't nothing but 15 feet away from them up in the air. They going to get close-ups. They going to have sound. It's no way they can get out of that. So that turning the body cam on and off shit don't mean nothing. There's no way they can win this case, guys. No way. I would be floored if one of them survived what's coming in trial. I will be back down here. Guys, listen. Part of the reason I came down here, the meet and greet was part of it. But the big thing, when I said I had something planned for you guys, it was that. In this video, we walked the same path he walked. Explained a lot of things that were seen in the dark. We've seen it in broad daylight, and it explained a lot of things. And I feel good that I could bring that to you guys, my subscribers. The money I spent and, the donations I got to help with the some of the expenses was well worth it. Some of you guys made this possible. This is not just me. Everybody who donated in the Cash App and everybody that did Super Chat and things like that, guys, this is not just a victory for me. It's a victory for all of us. I ain't no detective or anything like that, but today I really felt good about doing this type of stuff, and I really want to do this across the country with your help, and I'm not saying monetarily, just your support. You guys continue to send me stories. I see all the stories, but some of the stories I've done already, if you look at my video library, and some of them I'm so compiled up that I can't get to them, at a certain time. But they are there, and I will get to them eventually. So don't feel left out or like I'm ignoring you. Guys, this channel's nothing without you. The People's Court, you make it what it is, man. You make this channel what it is. My trip down here was well worth it, man. Y'all showed me nothing but love. Like I said, the meet and greet is tomorrow. Can't wait to meet you. But check this out real quick. You see how stupid they were? See how dumb they were when I showed the camera? When I show you the camera? Watch this. Look at this. Take a look. This is the last video. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm back. Listen. I'm gonna show you how dumb these cops was that did this to this dude Tyre Nichols. Now you see that area right there, right? You see it. Remember I was talking about the camera, how they didn't see the camera and all this, even though it was dark out here? Guys, look at this. Now you see the memorial, I'm facing the memorial where he was getting beat. Look behind me. The camera is right there and it's beeping. See it beeping? Because it's watching me. How stupid are they? You didn't see that in the middle of the night. There are no street lights around here, guys. Guys, there are no street lights. If you take a look and I flip around like this, you see no street lights. It was super dark back here. You know what I'm saying? How they didn't see that blue flashing light? And just what this dude just went through, listen. Right here. Now you see the memorial right here. I'm trying to look non-conspicuous. See it? This way right here. See the gray car? That's how close he was to home. Think about that. He was so close, but yet so far. Damn shame. Well, guys, that was the last part. And showing how dumb them cops are. That camera is right close up on them with a light right over them. They couldn't have picked the nicest spot to do that to that man. Because that right there, they kicked themselves and punched themselves right on the way to the penitentiary. And it's all under the spotlight. Camera right on them. Didn't even see it. That's why at the end, when they was doing like that, they was trying to see if the camera was working. Hey, is the camera on? Yeah, it's on. And your goose is cooked. If you go back and look, that was the only street light from all the way from that part where he ran up into the cul-de-sac. Darkness. I don't see how they see back there. When I panned around and showed them homes, there were so many people in view of what was being done to Tyre Nichols. It got to be more witnesses than one. That's why they scrambling and trying to keep these tapes secure. But anyway, listen, guys, I'm going to sum it up like this. We don't know what's going to happen May 1st, but honestly, I feel a sense of pride covering this story since I started really getting into it and you guys were enjoying the videos. Tonight, tonight, it's nighttime when I'm recording this, but I think it was cool where I could stand and see all of the stuff at the scene of the crime and take you guys with me. We went from the one stop, we looked, and we walked. It was almost like we walked the same path he did and explained a lot of things. God knows what was running through his head. But the number one thing was survival. Survival. This could have happened to any of us. That's why I took heart to this story. You know, it could be any of us with a memorial out there somewhere on the street. And we got to be cognizant of that. You don't win when you're arguing with the police and all this other thing and other stories that I covered. We do need police reform. Hell, we need a whole bunch of reform in the government, the prisons, all kind of stuff. You know, but I just was happy I could take you guys with me and experience this. So it wasn't just me doing it, it's people across the world, in the country. You know, you've seen what I seen, and what was good was we did it on a nice clear day so everybody could see. You saw where the crime happened. You saw how close his house was. You seen the gray car? That's where his people live. You understand what I'm saying? That's the distance from his house, how far his house was. And that's when he was calling, because I was wondering why he was calling. And that's why he kept looking down there, saying, Mom, come on, Mom. You understand what I'm saying? Damn shame. But you guys seen it. You know what I mean? So we can put the bed arrest a lot of questions that we had in the dark where we couldn't see. Because in broad daylight, they explained themselves. I'm Stock Market Steve. I'll see you guys at the meetup tomorrow. You know I love you as always. Like, comment, share,